guys, it's Jasmine. I am back with another video. This video is going to be about the top 10 most haunted cemeteries in the state of California. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first haunted cemetery that I'm going to be talking about is, I don't know how to say this. I really don't. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen. I think it's Adeliada. I'm gonna butcher that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on the screen for you guys because I ain't trying to pronounce that. My tongue doesn't work like that anymore. It's sad. I've lost so much of my Spanish. But this cemetery is in Paso Robles, California. Now, apparently, this cemetery is haunted by a woman in a pink dress. She's called the Pink Lady. She floats over treetops in her dress, and you can see the pink dress trailing behind her. Apparently, this woman killed herself when she was 19 years old, and visitors, while visitors have been there at night, they've witnessed her floating over trees, and they've heard a very sad song being sung, but it sounds like it's coming from the hills that are kind of far away from the cemetery. The next cemetery we're going to be talking about is El Campo Santo Cemetery, and that is going to be in San Diego, California. Apparently, there are headless bodies that just float around this place. And there's also the ghost of a half-naked prostitute who, I guess, rumor has it, she refused to be buried there. I don't quite understand that because, like, if you're dead, how do you refuse to be buried somewhere? So I don't know if people just assume she's refused to be buried there because she haunts that place, but apparently she's like a semi-naked prostitute, and she kind of guards the gate when you're coming in, and a lot of people see her near there. So I kind of want to go visit that and see what everyone's talking about, because San Diego isn't super far from me. It's about 40 minutes away. The next place we're going to be talking about is Rose Hill Cemetery in Black Diamond Mines, Pittsburgh, California. I didn't even know we had a Pittsburgh, California, so I'm a little shocked by that one. Apparently, this cemetery is haunted by a woman named Sarah Norton. She was a midwife in the early 1800s, and she was thrown from her buggy and died. She's now buried in that cemetery, and you'll either hear her howling, laughing, or crying. And there's also armies of ghosts that seem to walk around holding candles, which I thought was kind of interesting. Now, I don't know what they mean by armies of ghosts. Do they mean like just a large group of ghosts that walk around holding candles? Or do they mean like they're in military garb and they're holding candles? I'm not quite sure. Like, was the whole army buried there? I think they just mean like a large group of ghosts. Why do I always have to question stuff? Next one is the Sacramento City Cemetery in Sacramento, California. They ended up digging up all of the bodies from the old cemetery, and then they moved them to the new location, and people think because that happened, their spirits are restless because that's not their original home that they were buried in. Apparently, people hear pounding footsteps when no one is visible, and then there's howls coming from the ground. They also hear a woman's laughter, and it almost sounds like a scary, demented, sad laughter. And I think the best way that I could equate that would be when, you know, you're not having a good day and like something bad happens and you're literally like and you just kind of like lose your mind, you know, you're just kind of like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I think that is the laughter they're talking about. Maybe it's almost kind of like I'm about to mentally lose my mind and I have to laugh because if not I'm gonna cry. If not, I got nothing. And I'm just gonna say too, personally, I don't feel like the graves being moved would be a reason for the place to be haunted, only because I feel like they didn't die in the original cemetery, right? So why would they be attached to the ground there? Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that, but I just personally don't think cemeteries are really that haunted because, yeah, the physical body is there, but your soul, I don't think, is going to stay in the cemetery. Your soul is going to go where it wants to go. Why would you want to just kick it in a cemetery? I feel like that's just where we put the bodies to decompose. That's just my personal opinion, though. Like, I kind of almost find it a little hard to believe. That's me. The next one is going to be the Pioneer Cemetery in Placeville, California. This one looks spooky. Apparently, like, the tombstones are a little worn. Nobody upkeeps the cemetery, so there's weeds and the grass is dead, and it literally looks like one of those cemeteries you would use in a horror movie. And I think that's really interesting. So that probably adds to the lore of it being haunted, because if I drove by it, my first thought would be like, that's a haunted cemetery. So I do wonder why it's not kept up. Like, every cemetery I've known is kept up. You know, you want to be able to respect the dead. You want to be able to have a nice place for people to come and visit their relatives and mourn. So I find it interesting that there's zero money being put towards that cemetery to keep it upkept. But apparently this cemetery is haunted by a woman in a white dress, which is so typical. And it's torn up, and she walks around, and I guess everybody notices that she has a giant bun. So I don't know if that's more like a beehive style, or if because it says it's a tight white dress. So I would say if it's a tight white dress, maybe it's newer, and maybe she has her hair up in a messy bun, like the style, you know, I think you've seen in a couple of my videos where I'm talking about just a giant messy bun. But she's known for her tattered, tight white dress and a messy bun. This one is going to be Sunny Slope Cemetery in Beaumont, California. This one is apparently haunted by a groundskeeper. So I guess when you go there, you'll be able to see what looks like a groundskeeper, and he's walking around. And then if you go and you follow him, he goes into a shed. And then if you follow him into the shed, it's completely empty and it's wet. So I don't know how true that is, but that's one thing that haunts that cemetery. Also, people have witnessed orbs. Other people have felt cold spots, and a few people have even said that they've been touched by something. The next cemetery we're talking about is going to be Green Acres Cemetery in Bloomington, California. This cemetery apparently has a marble table in one of the corners, and rumor has it that a lot of times the day after Halloween, there's blood all over that marble table. And that's really all that's said about it. Personally, I don't think that's a haunting. I think that's idiot people trying to sacrifice animals on Halloween night, or it's people putting fake blood on the table to scare people because of the rumors that have happened. I'm not quite sure. All I know is I don't think it's paranormal. I think it's people trying to do some crazy shit on Halloween, trying to summon the devil or whatever you want to say, and they're leaving the marks there. The next one we are going to be talking about is going to be Calvary Cemetery in Hanford, California. Near one of the mausoleums in the cemetery, there's a glowing apparition of a woman in a white dress. Now, people have reported that this woman in a white dress either has bright yellow eyes or she has bright green eyes. And then one person said that they witnessed the apparition shoving a tree branch in her mouth. I got nothing on that. I don't know why she would do that. I guess that's interesting. The next one I'm going to be talking about is Fairhaven Cemetery in Santa Ana, California. Apparently this ghost that haunts us is called the mourning baby or the mourning child. When I first heard about this, I thought that it meant mourning as in like you're sad and you're mourning the death of somebody, but it actually is mourning as in good morning, the birds are chirping. So two different mornings. This is the mourning baby or the mourning toddler, and the reason that they call this ghost that is because in the morning you will witness a baby crawling to a large oak tree that's inside of the cemetery. And then also people have just heard a child crying in the middle of the night at the cemetery. And that's gonna be it. Now, I wanted to say the reason that I posted this video is because I wanted to let you know that tomorrow's video on Halloween, I'm going to one of these cemeteries. And looking at distances, it was a tie between the Beaumont Cemetery and the San Diego Cemetery. And me and my friends decided that we are going to the Sunny Slope Cemetery in Beaumont, California. We are planning on ghost hunting there. We are going to bring my pendulum. We are going to bring our DIY EVP machine. And we are going to see what we can catch, and hopefully I'll be able to have a really cool video for you guys. So I'm super, super excited. I already filmed part of the video and did get a couple things. and I am planning on going back in a couple of days with a person who has legitimate EVP equipment. He has a spirit box, he has an EMF reader. I'm also going to bring my pendulum again. I am going to bring my friend's pendulum, and we are gonna see what we can catch, because when I originally filmed that video, it was a week before Halloween. Now I'm going literally 2 days before Halloween, and I am so scared and so excited, and it's gonna take a lot to get me back there. So please, please, please go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys can see this crazy video that I have for you guys on Halloween, which is gonna be tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.